Let's Namaskar, tap our Kundalini and put our souls into Bangkok. Jai Shri Mataji. We'll do the three great mantras. Do one mantra to Shri Ganesha. Om Twame Vasakshat Shri Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Do the Ganesha Atavashisha.
त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं तत्त्वमसि त्वमेव केवलं कर्तासि त्वमेव केवलं धर्तासि त्वमेव केवलं हर्तासि त्वमेव सर्वं खल्विदं ब्रह्मासि त्वं साक्षादात्मासि नित्यम् ऋतं वच्मि सत्यं वच्मि अवत्वमा अववक्तारम् अवश्रोतारम् अवदातारम् अवधातारम् अवानुचानमवशिष्यम् अवपश्चात्तात् अवपुरस्तात् अवोत्तरात्तात् अवदक्षिणात्तात् अवचोखात्तात् अवाधरात्तात् सर्वतोमान् पाहि पाहि समन्तात् त्वं वाङ्मया त्वं चिन्मया त्वम् आनन्दमया त्वं ब्रह्मामया त्वं सच्चिदानन्दाद्वितीयोऽसि त्वं प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वं ज्ञानमयो विज्ञानमयोऽसि सर्वं जगदिदं त्वत्तो जायते सर्वं जगदिदं त्वत्तस्तिष्ठति सर्वं जगदिदं त्वयि लयमेष्यति सर्वं जगदिदं त्वयि प्रत्येति त्वां भूमिरापो नलो निलो नभः त्वां चत्वारि वाक्पदानि त्वां गुणत्रयातीतः त्वां देहत्रयातीतः त्वां कालत्रयातीतः त्वां मूलाधारस्थितोऽसि नित्यं त्वां शक्तित्रयात्मकः त्वां योगिनो ध्यायन्ति नित्यं त्वां ब्रह्मा स्वं विष्णु स्वं रुद्र स्वमिन्द्र स्वम् अग्नि स्वं वायु स्वं सूर्य स्वं चन्द्रमा स्वं ब्रह्म भूर्भुवस्वरो गणादि पूर्वमुच्चार्य वर्णादि तदनन्तरः अनुस्वार परतरः अर्धेन्दुलसितः तारेण रुद्धम् एतत्तव मनुस्वरूपं गकार पूर्वरूपम् अकारो मध्यमरूपम् अनुस्वार शान्त्यरूपम् बिन्दुरुत्तररूपम् नादसन्धानसहिता सन्धिः सैषा गणेशविद्या गणकर्षिः निश्चिद्गायत्री छन्दः गणपतिर्देवता ॐ गणपतये नमः एकदन्ताय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्ती प्रचोदयात् एकदन्तं चतुर्हस्तं पाशमङ्कुशधारिणं रदं च वरदं हस्तैर्बिभ्राणं मूषकध्वजं रक्तं लम्बोदरं शूर्पकर्णकं रक्तवाससं रक्तगन्धानुलिप्ताङ्गरक्तपुष्पे सुपूजितं भक्तानुकम्पिनं देवजगत्कारणमच्युतम् आविर्भूत च सृष्टादो प्रकृते पुरुषात् परम् एवं ध्यायति यो नित्यः स योगी योगिनावरः नमो व्रातपतये नमो गणपतये नमः प्रमथपतये नमस्तेऽस्तु लम्बोदराय एकदन्ताय विघ्ननाशिने शिवसुताय श्रीवरदमूर्तये नमो नमः साक्षात् श्री माताजी श्री निर्मला देवे नमो नमः.
Let's just meditate on those vibrations just for a few minutes while I organise our talk for this morning. The talk this morning is titled, Why Living in the Future Destroys Your Peace. It's a long talk. I'll just play part of it and then I'll post the rest of it afterwards onto our Facebook page.
It's so beautiful to come back to London, to meet all of you again. After such a big gap, I felt. It's a funny feeling one gets when you leave the country and you are away, and then you find other people same way when you leave them. You feel an ocean of compassion and love. We have been very successful in India. Indian climate is, I think, changing very fast, and people are finding it easier to take to Sahaja than before. Luckily, some people were cured by Sahaja, which made people think about it. Apart from that, they found out, as you found out about Blake, that a gentleman, very famous seer known as Bhrigu, who wrote the prophecies about modern times 2000 years back, has talked about Sahaja very clearly. And he says that, not so precise as Blake is, but in a way, about Sahaja, that the Kundalini Shakti will be awakened in a very Sahaja way. And that it's a new system by which thousands will get realization. According to his proportions, in 1 crore, crore is, how much is it, Kavi? Crore? 100,000? 1,000? Huh? 10 million? 10 million. Among 10 million people, there will be one person who will get realization. Then these people will start giving realization to others, and so many will get their Atma Sakshatkar, means self-realization. Also describes about vibrations and so many things. And what happens after realization, that you can start seeing the Kundalini and all those minute things with your naked eyes. That you can see the throbbing of the Kundalini with this new method. And so many things he has described that they had to take to Sahaja because they knew this was it. That's what you have to expect. And it worked out so well that I don't know, thousands and thousands of people, thousands. Now, It is very important for these seers to see those things of the future, because human beings are such that unless and until they have something already certified, you see, the bona fides of a person, people don't believe. And that's why it was important that such a thing was written about Sahaja Yoga. Because what I have studied with other people who came to me from other groups is that most of them were brainwashed people. I mean, they didn't know what they were talking about, they didn't know what was Kundalini, they didn't know what was self-realization, they did not know any one of their own powers, they did not know how to work it out, nothing. I mean, there was just zeros, you see. And they just were wearing some dresses and things like that, and wearing some sort of a necklace or maybe some bangle in the hand to say that they belong to a particular cult. But they didn't know what it was. Actually, nothing was intelligible to me to understand why were they in that cult, what were they doing there. And everybody was hoping for the future. I concluded on one point. I think most of the Western people are futuristic. They live in the future, neither in the past nor in the present. But they live in the future. And these futuristic tendencies make you hope for something better, that something will come out, something will work out. Let me do what I'm doing is all right. And they don't even want to think that what I'm doing, is it correct or incorrect. They just accept whatever they have accepted. Maybe it's also another ego trip, perhaps, that I've accepted this, now I don't want to change, sort of a thing. But I was surprised they didn't know anything about God, about themselves, about their spirit, about their kundalinis, about their chakras, about anybody's chakras, nothing. They were just in the dark, lost people and real seekers, absolutely real seekers. I was amazed at the way they got realization also. Some of the foreigners who came in Delhi were wonderful people. But they said, we think drug is the way. I said, but why do you think like that? You see, they have conceptions which are futuristic also. That we are experimenting with this, we are experimenting with that, and definitely we are going to reach somewhere. But supposing if you are coming to Caxton Hall and if you are directed towards the airport, how will you come to Caxton Hall? Maybe if you go round the whole world, maybe, if you think the world is round. But the plane of God is not a round world. It's an ascent. It's an ascent. It is not that you can go here, there, everywhere, and then somehow you find God. It's not like that, or somehow you find your spirit. It's a higher level. It's a higher position one has to rise. It is not at the same level you are going to find it. This they don't understand. They don't understand. They think that, you see, on this level only, if you move with this human awareness, what we have, with our rationality, with our thinking, by our reading, we'll achieve that. I was amazed. I mean, I didn't know that human beings think like that. That you can achieve anything with your rationality and with your intelligence. You cannot. What can you achieve? Because whatever is to be achieved, you have already achieved that. But what is to be understood, that these futuristic people think that the way they are progressing, or whatever the way they are moving the right direction. Until they are completely finished and fagged out, how are they going to find out? It's a complete brainwash for these people, and it's a very dangerous thing. I was myself so much upset with all that. But I do not know what is the solution for these people if they are that futuristic. Now we must know what happens to a person when he becomes futuristic. It's a very dangerous situation also. Every way, physically, mentally, emotionally, in every way. Futuristic person has lots of problems. The first problem that arises by living into the future is that you forget the past. You completely forget the past. You just live in the future. You forget the past. You don't even remember sometimes your own name. We had one gentleman who came to see me. He was the president of a Dhulia conference or something, a big man supposed to be. He came down and he didn't remember even his wife's name. Can you imagine? And the wife was crying, poor thing. She said, he doesn't even remember my name, mother. It's gone so bad as that. So I asked him, do you remember your name? So he said, well, I think, let me think. Now thinking is moving right side. You see, left side is finished. I think, again, he couldn't. And I found out from him that he was planning and he was doing this. I'm going to do this to Dhulia city. I'm going to work out this for Dhulia city and I'm going to arrange this, and everything was in his mind. But nothing that was past. And the balance was so much upset that he was absolutely future and nothing of past. He had very high blood pressure. And imagine a person who doesn't remember his own name to walk about in the streets of London. One would be lost, police will have to catch hold of him and put him in a jail. It's a very abnormal situation. But we reach that situation because we start enjoying that kind of a thinking, indulging into that kind of a rationality, and then ending up with a life like that. High blood pressure, heart trouble, diabetes, paralysis. Anything is possible with this kind of movement of futuristic attitude. But future does not exist. It is just in our mind. And whatever is in our mind is not reality that we have conceived ourselves. Reality is what it is. You cannot conceive it. It exists. Only thing what we can do is to rise up to it and to see for ourselves what reality is. Actually what it means. Now the trouble with this ego business is that it's like a balloon. It's really like a balloon. The more you start thinking about it, it takes you away from reality. Like as if you float in the air and you don't know what you are doing. You have lost all contacts with the Mother Earth and you are floating in the air. This has started in us because when we became human beings from the animal stage, you see, we started taking up upon ourselves the responsibility to be ourselves. That we are something. I am something, you are something, you are Mr. X, you are Mr. Y, you are Mr. Z. But as human beings go to the extremes as usual, you see, they cannot stop at a point. So they went into such a limit of extremes, now they have forgotten also I, who is this I? You ask the name, they said, by the way, I think this, that. So all identifications are lost with the past. And one may say that it's a very good thing because they were all misidentifications are lost. But even the identifications with the future are also hallucinations. That's not the truth. One has to be in the present. And how do you do it? Not by listening to any lecture or going to any sort of a library to find out. Or you cannot do it again with this brain that is today. You have to have a brain which has that spark in it, that light in it, enlightened brain. You are to be an enlightened person. Unless and until you are enlightened, you cannot see your way through. You do not know. You are walking in the dark. Really you are walking in the dark. And when this light comes into you, that is the light within us, placed there all the time, is the light of our spirit. It has to come in our attention. And God has arranged everything for us. Everything. There's a way of our germination which has to take place, and when it takes place you can feel that spirit in your attention. Now there is another misunderstanding I find people have about spirit. They think spirit is an energy. It is not. It's not an energy. Energy can be transformed, it can be changed, it can be evolved, it can be handled and all that. Spirit is not. Spirit is absolute. It cannot be compared with anything else that you know of. It is an absolute thing. it resides in your heart, is the reflection of God Almighty within ourselves. And you cannot call it an energy. Energy can be finished off, spent away, it can disappear into thin air, not the spirit. It's a permanent entity, it is absolute by itself and it cannot be compared with anything else. I mean, just to give an analogy, one can say something. But that's a different point, just to give. But you cannot compare an absolute with anything that is relative. So that's an absolute thing within you, which resides in your heart. And when this residual power of Kundalini rises, it ignites the attention within you with this spark of the spirit. Now supposing this light is here, take it. If you put on this light, of course this light is an energy, so you cannot compare with anything, that's the trouble. But still you say this is the light. Now this light enlightens this whole atmosphere and we start seeing things here clearly. But do you think that light which is there is the one that is your attention? Not at all. Your attention is enlightened by that light. The light enlightens your attention. By that attention, you can feel the all-pervading power, the divine power, the energy of God, the divine energy of God, the energy of love of God. You can feel it because it's a connecting link. Spirit is the connecting link. But it is.
We'll stop there. Let's meditate together. Let's do the last of the 3 great mantras. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Kalki Sakshat Shri Sahasrara Swamini Moksha Pradaini Mataji Shri Nimla Devi Namo Namaha. May I this day be what you'd have me be. May I this day say what you have me say. May I this day be part and parcel of the whole, and may my thoughts be of a realized soul. May I this day have love for all mankind. Shri Mother, be in my heart and in my mind. Jai Shri Mataji. Thank you very much for joining this morning. It's been absolutely delightful. Thank you, Shri Mataji, for filling us with your beautiful vibrations. And thank you for taking us into that depth of thoughtlessness. May we all have a beautiful Sahaja day, full of love and vibrations and joy. Thank you everyone for joining. Jai Shri Mataji.